Greetings, LEGO fans, and welcome to... I can explain.
Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
Well, for those of you who are undoubtedly really disappointed about this whole situation, don't worry, I'll be returning to minifigure form in future videos, but I just wanted to hop on camera and say thank you to all of you for getting me to 1,000 subscribers. All of you who have watched my videos, who have liked, who have commented, subscribed, thank you so much. I've wanted to start a YouTube channel for a very long time now, and I could not be more thrilled with the community that we're building here. So, as promised, for our 1,000 subscriber special, I'm going to answer some of your questions. My Random Mind TV asks, is there a theme or set that you didn't buy that you wish you had bought back then? The thing that comes to mind here is probably the Black Seas Barracuda from 1989. That thing is worth so much money now, and I do not have it. It's one that I'm probably going to try to get my hands on soon for a future episode of Retro Lego, but it's not going to be pretty. Stud Frame Animations asks, do you have experience being a voice actor? You sound very professional, like you've done this before. What's funny is I've actually had a couple of recent comments that have said, great video, but I don't like the AI voice. I don't know if that's supposed to be a compliment or a dig, but I'll take it as a compliment. I've never actually been a voice actor, but I've done a lot of commercial voiceover work, and I do voiceover work as part of my day job as well. My day job is actually as a videographer. I make recruitment videos and informational videos for a university. Though I haven't done any voice acting, I actually am a professional actor and singer. That's another one of my side gigs. Some would say I have too many side gigs. I typically do 1 to 2 professional musicals or plays each year, and it's a total blast.
She has her eyes, she has my Lily's hazel eyes, those eyes that love my brother, never me.
Break
Be
free
and take
and
her in your
Blue Dragon Bricks asks, what is your favorite LEGO theme? What is your favorite set? And can I have a shout out? Well, we'll answer the third one now. Yes, Blue Dragon Bricks, you've been an awesome supporter of the channel. Big shout out to you. As far as my favorite LEGO theme, I'd have to say that Western is probably still my number one, and that's why it was the first episode of Retro Lego. And as I stated in that episode, Fort Legoretto still takes the top spot for me. They also ask, what is your favorite LEGO minifigure? That's a tough question to answer, but 2 immediately come to mind. Redbeard from the Pirates line and Johnny Thunder from the Adventurers line. Josh Mid asks, do you have a favorite LEGO machine you've made or bought? Really the only experience that I have with LEGO machines of any kind is trains. I have 3 different trains that run around my track system, 2 of which were not even designed to be used with LEGO powered up systems, but with a few tutorials online and a little jerry-rigging myself, I was able to make them all work. That's really the only experience I have with electronic components in LEGO though. Chris the Gaming Dude asks, what grew your obsession over LEGO? So, when I was growing up, my year basically revolved around 2 events, my birthday and Christmas. The reason for that is because it's the only 2 times I ever got any spending money, and all of that spending money went to LEGO. So, during my childhood years, I would basically spend my entire year planning what LEGO sets I would get for my birthday and Christmas, and it was a total obsession. Every time a new LEGO catalog arrived at our house, I would spend hours just poring over it, looking at all the sets and trying to decide what I wanted to get. It's definitely right to call it an obsession, because I was totally fixated on it, and not much has changed. His next question is, how do you feel about LEGO Star Wars? Okay, my feelings on LEGO Star Wars are a little complicated. So I really loved LEGO Star Wars when it first came out in 1999 because I was 9 years old and I totally loved Star Wars. I have a lot of fond memories of playing with those sets as a kid, and I still collect some LEGO Star Wars to this day. I love the theme overall. But I do think the wild success of LEGO Star Wars has changed the company's focus from original themes to licensed themes. And for a lot of people, that's a great thing. They can see their favorite IP represented in LEGO. But I do think it has made original unlicensed themes harder to bring to market and harder to get the attention that they deserve. So ultimately, I have mixed feelings about LEGO Star Wars. Again, I love it, but I don't necessarily love the direction it's taken the company as a whole. Jesse Fleet asks, which theme went hardest for you? I think the answer to that question for me is Time Cruisers. I made a recent episode of Retro Lego about the Time Cruisers and talked at length about how that theme just completely went wild. It's like they had no limitations at all. That's perhaps why a lot of people don't necessarily like Time Cruisers, but for me, that's the reason I love Time Cruisers so much, because it's just so wild. And Real King of Wales asks, what's your favorite theme of each decade in Lego history? So I'm gonna start with the 70s because that's when the current Lego system kind of came into being. So I'd say from the 70s, my favorite theme would be classic space. In the 80s, it would probably be pirates. From the 90s, it would go to Western with adventures in a very close second. For the 2000s, I would probably have to say Bionicle or possibly the first wave of Lego Harry Potter. For the 2010s, I would probably have to give it to the modular buildings, which I think would be creator expert technically. And for the 2020s, I would probably have to say Icons, because that produced sets like the Titanic and Rivendell. Since we're doing a 1,000 subscriber special, it seemed appropriate to give an update on the Lego room as well. Starting in the city, you'll notice that I've added a handful of things, starting with the sightseeing bus that I did a review on recently, the Parisian restaurant, the town hall, which I also did a video on, talking about how I parted that together on Bricklink. A couple of vehicles as well, this police chase set, and the James Bond Aston Martin. And I also picked up half of the pet shop, which is only the pet shop. It doesn't come with the townhome. I don't know if I'm going to complete the other half of that, because I'm not a huge fan of that set as a whole, but I definitely like the pet shop side much better. And finally, the Up House used to actually be hanging up there, but I thought it looked a lot better in the city and kind of matched the aesthetic. Moving on to the upper shelves here, I actually ended up moving the Lego Indiana Jones section over here because, first of all, it fits better, and the place where Lego Indiana Jones used to be is now occupied by adventurers. Of course, I recently made an episode of Retro Lego about the adventurers, and I needed a place to put all the sets that I had acquired. I've got the hot air balloon hanging up here, as well as the Bi-Wing Baron. And I'm starting to experiment with putting the vintage instruction manuals on display next to the sets. I don't know if it's something I'm going to keep doing forever, but I think I like it for now. Here's the instruction manuals next to some of the Western sets as well, just to give a feel for what that looks like. Unfortunately, I don't currently have a place for the Sphinx Secret Surprise set. I'm gonna probably have to build some sort of specialty shelf or something to get that to fit with that really big base plate there. Another set I picked up recently was the Durmstrang ship and the Beauxbatons carriage. Now, these are not the permanent places that they're gonna go, but currently I don't know where else to put it. So here it sits, completely out of scale with the micro-scale Hogwarts. And I've definitely had a lot of questions about whether I have any Lego Star Wars on display anywhere. Here is my very small collection of Lego Star Wars. This is actually a mock that I made with the Star Wars Holiday Special diorama that actually had the sequel trilogy characters. I ended up just modifying it and putting the original trilogy characters in there, the scene from New Hope. Of course, Leia wouldn't have been there in that scene, but it felt like she needed to be included. And then the boarding of the Tantive hallway and the MIDI scale Millennium Falcon. Under that, I have the Apollo 11 lunar lander and a little mock that I made of the Mission Control. That's Gene Kranz right there. And above the city, we have a little Time Cruisers section. I ended up actually using the stand for the MIDI scale Millennium Falcon to hold up the whirling Time Warper there to make it look like it's flying through the air. You've got Tony Twister holding onto the back there, and again, the vintage instructions on display underneath. The Hypno Cruiser has a couple of clear bricks holding it up, making it look like it's taking flight, and then the Rocket Racer underneath. Now, I actually moved the wheel back from where it's supposed to go on the Rocket Racer so that it pointed upward a little bit and is a little more visible on that shelf. And I actually ended up leaving the wheel in the wrong spot when I filmed for the Retro Lego episode on Time Cruisers, and RR Slugger actually pointed that out in the comments, which was kind of funny. In my first Lego room tour, I only had 4 of the original Toa Mata. I actually ended up getting Kopaka and Lewa and one of the canisters as well to put on display. So now I have all 6. Other than that, everything else in the Lego room remains pretty much the same as in my first Lego room video. Well, that about wraps it up for today. If you want to support the channel, please go visit my Patreon page. I'll put a link in the description below. And if you have any other questions for future Q&As, let me know in the comments below. Thank you all again for helping me reach this milestone. I could not have done it without you. And until next time, keep building.